Hello, everyone. I have no idea who's going to watch this, but this is Brad. I wanted to do a quick demo of the University of Minnesota comparison group generator. This is a tool that was built by the Office of Institutional Research. It's written in Ruby, and the data analysis comes all from public data that comes from iPads. And the point of this tool, and the reason that it's helpful, is because a lot of times institutions have either a false sense of their peer group or they don't have any sense of their peer group. And what this does is this allows for any institution that's a four-year institution to look in here and basically figure out who their peers might be. And then see who their peers might be on different variable weights. So we'll type in a school here. Man, I should have thought of this before, but I'll put it in my alma mater, the University of Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas. This pulls up, you say the number of peers, and you can just say create comparison group. And what it's going to do, if you scroll down here, it is going to pick a comparison group that is based on this specific combination of these different variable weights. And what they did is they did a factor analysis, and the factor analysis was then used to create a nearest neighbor analysis based on these different factors. So KU came up with Iowa, Colorado State, University of Colorado, and then if you click on these, it allows you to sort of pull up some individual iPads data that's in there. So it populates at that second level as well and gives you a map of where Boulder is, which is kind of cool. And then they also provide you a handy map down there, which is pretty neat. But what's also cool is you can pick the number of peers. So let's say you wanted to see 25. You could create a comparison group based on that, and it'll give you 25. And these, of course, are sorted based on some difference. I need to figure out what that is. Yes, the nearest neighbor all the way to the not nearest neighbor. So they're in ascending order based on closeness. There's also these institutional filters. So if you wanted to just grab, say, Publix, or if you just wanted to grab places that are in rural areas, you can create that comparison group as well. And these are KU's nearest neighbors based on those filters. It has this cool Start Again button. So the other thing that's neat is that you can dial in the different variable weights. So let's just say that we want to do University of Kansas, but we really only want to look at big institutions. You can punch that in so that when you create the comparison group, it is weighting size above everything else, and so you can, on these different measures, that's what's being factored in more than other things. And so this variable weights gives you a little pop-up that says 34 iPads variables were used to derive our 7 variables. See the data and methodology, and you can slide the bar to emphasize different weights over others. It's actually a pretty cool tool. There's a bunch of help features. And so what that allows an institution to do is click in there and basically see on the different factors where they line up against other institutions, and it allows them to benchmark more appropriately. So I've kind of shown the basic gist of the tool, but I do want to click through all these so that people can see all of the different buttons. Ideally, this is something that Capture might be interested in continuing on. So here are a bunch of comparison groups that people have put in, and you can see the date that's in here. And so what they've done is they've kept kind of a running tally of institutions that have been searched, as well as the number of peers and the weights. So that's kind of cool. You can see a lot of them are the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, where this tool is housed. The About This tool gives an overview. I'm going to copy this and make sure this all gets saved. But they give sort of a step-by-step analysis. And then they also give the data and methodology. So here are the variables that went into it from iPads. And then the statistical methodology is here. You can see the factor load scores. I believe those are factor load scores. Yes, that go in there. And so access is basically going to be, the percentage of enrollment, etc. So here is curricular focus. So STEM, liberal arts, and women enrolled. Expenditures, institutional support, student faculty ratio, etc. Faculty salaries, non-traditionalness, that's kind of a funny thing, and then size, whether or not a school is high tuition, high aid, and then back to access. So they've created those 7 or 8 variables. They provide these usage considerations. Again, you don't need to read this now. I'm going to copy all this out. But the point of this video is to demo the tool a little bit, because the tool is about to be taken down, and we need to preserve a little record of it. There's a little FAQ here that gives you some instructions, and they also have an API which allows you to run searches in the menu bar through a public-facing API. And then there's some contact information for Daniel Jones White, who built it, as well as the Office of Institutional Research at the University of Minnesota. So that's the basic gist. There's a link here to the OIR page, which brings you over here. And hopefully that shows pretty much everything. Let's try Abilene Christian, 50 peers, and let's do it on faculty salaries, just to do one more. Create a comparison group, and these are the schools that are most like Abilene Christian, which is really interesting. So sorry to ramble on. Hopefully this is useful. Again, comparison group, comparison history, the tool, the data, methodology, some usage considerations. Again, this is only for 4-year institutions, the FAQ, the API, and the contact information. Thanks.